today's Bullseye Accessories. Bringing you a video today covering our new grease edge for the RT680 and RT700 Bull. We have here the 304 stainless steel drip edge that we have designed, laser cut and CNC bent for installation on your RT680 or 700. Also included with your kit, you're going to get a 3-ounce tube of the Lavalock RTV 650. That's a high temp, food contact safe silicone, again, that we include in the kit. And then it's also going to come with an applicator nozzle that will be in with your RTV. This particular one we've pre-cut for our intended use. Coming up here from where the portion it threads on, our preference is to come up to the second indent that you'll see when you get your kit, cut at about a 45-degree angle, and that makes for a nice even application of the bead of RTV during the installation process. So for our application, the install is pretty straightforward. Your bullhorn handles, if you recall from when you assembled your RT700, are simply attached through the lid with two Phillips headed M6 by 1.0 screws on each handle. For the installation today, because we actually lost one of our screws, we'll be using a Torx head, or excuse me, an Allen head T-handle wrench because we've replaced ours with some stainless steel cap bolts that use a Allen head. So for the installation process, like I say, you'll want to start with removing your handles. You'll open up the lid. Preferred would be a Phillips P3 head. You can make it work with a Phillips P2 screwdriver. And I would definitely recommend in most cases using a manual screwdriver just because those threads, when you go to put it back together, getting everything aligned, if you aren't careful, you can cross thread those screws and potentially break them off in the handles themselves. I know some owners have experienced that during their initial installation, and so for that reason we do recommend the use of just a standard manual screwdriver versus a power drill with a bit. So to get started, what we're going to do is we'll do a little bit of TV magic here, but what I recommend is putting your grease drip edge on a flat surface. Normal installation is going to be in the upright position here when the lid is installed, or when it's installed on the lid. I recommend putting it kind of in an inverted V fashion, and we're going to apply RTV, about a nice 1/4 to 3/8 inch bead over the entire length of this. For cleanliness, I'd recommend skipping over your bolt holes here, but make sure and catch this space between the bolt holes. And again, a 1/4 inch to a 3/8 down the whole length of the drip edge itself. So, all right, everybody, so this will give you an idea of roughly what you're looking for. Again, we're looking for about a 1/4, maybe 3/8 inch bead of RTV down the whole length of your grease drip edge, that the half that has the bolt holes in it that's going to be attached to the lid. A couple other quick notes on the RTV. For those of you that might not be familiar, these caps have a piercing tip on them, so when you get your RTV, it's going to be all sealed up. You're going to have the applicator tip in the bag. You're going to take this cap off, you turn it over, it'll pierce the foil for the RTV tube itself, and then you can thread your applicator tip onto the end. Again, we like about the second notch at a 45-degree angle. Thread that on there. That'll let you apply the bead of RTV to your drip edge. Another note in kind of the preparation for applying your drip edge, you can see here, we like to give the lid a quick wipe, with just a simple household degreaser. That could be something just like a moistened paper towel with a couple drops of Dawn dish soap on there, just to help cut any of the grease, smoke residue, things like that that'll be already adhered to your lid, assuming that your RT700's been in use for a while. This is just a simple tub of towels, hand degreaser wipe. You can see we try to keep a pretty clean smoker, but even with that, preparing our surface for the RTV, quick wipe with that, you can see it does have quite a bit of residue on there. Getting as much of that off as possible is going to give you the absolute best adhesion with the RTV. Don't worry about getting it back to a factory new shine. You're not looking for absolute perfection in the cleanliness. The RTV will go ahead and cure over time and seal that up nice and neat. So for this next step in the process, I definitely recommend having a second set of hands, just because you're going to be trying to manage getting the drip edge up onto the lid. The RTV will help hold it in place just a little bit, but again, a second set of hands so that you can manage the drip edge. Somebody aligning the bullhorn handles on the backside while you get the screw started is a definite advantage. One last note on the RTV. The manufacturer of this product does recommend that you have an ambient temperature of about 50 degrees or so outside. That just makes sure that the product flows out of the tube nice and neat when you're applying it. And it does have a cure time of about 12 to 24 hours. So once you get this drip edge installed, you're going to want to let that RTV cure before it sees any kind of heat, moisture, anything like that. All right, everybody, so we're ready to get that drip edge installed. I know I just mentioned that it does help to have two sets of hands when you're doing this. Somebody maybe on the backside to help align those bullhorn handles for you. But as you can see here, the RTV itself will do a very good job of holding that drip edge in place. So if you don't have a neighbor or anybody like that that wants to come over, give you a hand, one of your family members, that's fine. You should be able to accomplish this with one person. Just take a little bit of care as you're lining up that drip edge. We do laser cut these drip edges, so the holes are going to line up very nice with the holes in the lid. And when you're pressing that RTV up there, it's kind of got a tacky glue-like texture to it. So you can get it pressed up there and get it pretty well aligned with those holes if you are managing this job by yourself. So don't forget, if you have your gasket still, we won't enter into the whole is it horns up, horns down debate, horns in, horns out. But if you do still have your gaskets, make sure that you install those. And then you're just going to place, like the original installation, you're going to place those against the outside of your lid. And then you're just going to get a screw started through. I recommend doing one for each side initially. Be careful because those bullhorns, while you're getting them tightened up, if you just have one screw in them, it is possible for the bullhorns to rotate. You don't want them possibly to fall off or to scratch up the lid of your 700. By starting with one screw on each side, just make sure that you have that left and right spacing accurate. Slide this drip edge up just a little bit. If you do find in the installation process that maybe you put a little bit too much RTV on there, or like I have here, because this drip edge, I'm managing it by myself, slid down, you'll notice that I have a little bit of RTV that is leaked out past our drip edge here. If you want, after about 5 or 10 minutes, give this just a couple of minutes to tack up. You can come back with a simple wet paper towel, just like you were maybe dressing some caulking in a bathroom. Come back and just clean up this edge. That'll give you just a nice finished look. So we've got our drip edge in place here. We can start our second bolts in each. And then again, we are using a Allen button head stainless bolt here because previously we lost one of ours. So you'll notice when I go to tighten these up, I'm going to be using that T-handled Allen wrench. So you just want to go ahead, give these a nice snug. Once you tighten those down, again, we want to let this RTV cure for a minimum of 12 hours. 24 hours would be best. And then finally, once that is all done, your cure time is up. We do recommend, because it is possible during the cooking process that this stainless steel drip edge could come into contact with your food. The RTV is food contact safe. 304 stainless is generally a sterile product, but during the manufacturing process, it's of course possible that some residual manufacturing oils could be present on this. So like most good things, we do recommend that you do a 1 hour burn time at 400 degrees. Again, just to make sure if there's any residual manufacturing oils that we burn those off and those don't come into contact with your food. So that covers the installation of your RT680/700 drip edge. We hope that you'll be real happy with the product as you get it. And as always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us through our Facebook page. You can also reach us at bullseyebasecamp@gmail.com. We're more than happy to walk you through any parts of the installation process you may have questions on, answer any questions, and Also, if you are happy with our products, we love to see those reviews on our Facebook page, and let your friends know about it if they're looking for it, that you had a good customer experience and you're happy with your product. Again, thanks for your guys' purchase and your interest in our drip edge, and take care.